Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tabitha, so glad that you're here. Today's video is going to be a little bit more on a serious note. Of course, I am going to be doing artwork because that's primarily what this channel is for, but in my artwork, I also want to be doing something. I want to try to help someone, if I can, through my artwork, and that's what today's video is going to be about. My beautiful and lovely friend Brooke was aspiring to become a nurse. She even entered medical school and was doing so fantastically well. She's so smart. She's a hard worker. She's awesome. Unfortunately, not long into her steps of becoming a medical professional, she was diagnosed with an illness known as CRPS or RSD. Now, there's not a lot known about this illness except for the extreme side effects, but as far as what causes it and what can be done to help fix it or cure it, not a lot is being said or done. CRPS is a disease that affects your nervous system. And of course, the nervous system goes throughout our entire body. And of course, if you have somebody, a loved one especially, that is suffering and can't do the things that they want to do on a regular basis. And even some of the simplest things that we take for granted and do in our daily life causes her great pain, malicious pain. It makes you want to do something, it makes you want to help, of course. Nobody wants to see a friend or a family member suffer. So I asked Brooke, what can I do? How can I help? I want to do my part. And of course, there's nothing that I can do except that she told me, bring awareness. Now, if you're like me and someone says awareness, I'll be honest, I didn't know how that could be helpful at all. I'm like, so great. I know about it, and maybe you know about it. Now you guys know about it. How does that benefit anything? How does that help enhance and extend the research? How does that fund a project? What's the big deal about awareness? And Brooke was so great and patient with me and explained everything about how awareness can help the next person.
Because awareness is needed, because you need to tell, if you have friends in the medical field, you need to tell them, ask them if they know what this is, you talk to them about it, you tell them my story. It gets into the medical field, into the system, because right now no research is funded, no research is even developed to even help. Funding for us is possible. Disability is rejected because it is so unknown. Nobody in medical school is taught these things. It is not even mentioned in the study of doctors or neurology or anything. Mentioned, but it is mentioned by its old name, which is what I normally prefer to it as RSD, because RSD is the appropriate name for it. They changed the name, but RSD explains it more than CRPS. CRPS, the name downgrades it and makes it seem nothing, because CRPS stands for complex regional pain syndrome, and what I have is not a syndrome. It is a disease of the nerves. It is a deterioration and damaging of the nervous system until you are not able to bodily function anymore. We are not reliable for disability, even though we lose function of everything in our body. But if you Google on the internet, it is very shallow, it is very degrading, it is very almost mocking of what I have, because it only says that it can happen to traumatic trauma like surgery or broken bones, or it only stays in one place at one time, which is not true. It spreads throughout your body, into every organ, into every place of your body, because every part of your body has a nerve, because any part that moves is going to have a nerve to function and to move. So Googling it is degrading. Asking anybody in the medical field is degrading, because they don't understand what it is. They don't believe what it is. They don't want to know what it is. Are thought of as normal people, but we are not. So awareness is what needs to get into, number one, medical field. So anybody in the medical field, you need to tell or ask, just simply ask, tell them you have a question for them. If you go to a doctor's appointment, tell your doctor, hey, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard of RSD? That's simply, it's going to get into the heads of the people that it needs to get into with. Say, hey, have you ever heard of RSD? And then you go on and you tell my story. That is what I want my story to do, because when you first get diagnosed, you have exactly 6 months to get help, and I'm still losing everything in my life. And they compare me to other people with fibromyalgia or other inflammatory issues, but mine is not an inflammatory issue. Mine is a damaging of the nervous system and a debilitating thing that's going to take my life one day. It is considered the suicide disease because most people are told it's in their head and they're crazy, and they end up taking their life because of it, and doctors tell them they're stupid, and then this is their life, they're going to have to live with it, and there's nothing wrong with you. Your blood work comes back perfectly fine. Your scans come back perfectly fine. No, it takes more than that. It takes thermal imaging. It takes seeing a person deteriorate. It's bone loss. It's muscle loss. It's nerve loss. It's everything. Even if they did come with a cure, right now, we've had so much damage done to our bodies that we probably would still have issues even if we were to cure it. But you can't cure damage to a nervous system, because that's what damage is done. But there is a way to slow the progression, and that's what I want for the next person. It's really just get it in the ears and eyes and hearts of people who can help and will help and who even care.
She's so selfless. She's an incredibly strong young woman. I don't know how she hides the pain most days. If you look at her, you would never know that something was wrong with her. Honestly, she's absolutely beautiful. She's funny and witty and sarcastic. And like I said before, a hard worker and a determined person. But inwardly, things are bad wrong. And so I want to do my part to help her, but not to help her cause, to help the next person. So if you see this video and perhaps you know somebody who might be suffering or have an inkling, spread the word, share. There are people that are suffering, and if the best way that we can help them, the easiest way that we can help them is sharing a video with just some information, please do so. And she's such an inspiration to me. I decided to just paint her as I see her. And this actually started with a video from last year. Brooke was starting to have more and more pain and was able to do fewer and fewer activities. And one thing that she really enjoyed and that helped her get through her days was to play piano and to sing. And she would film herself and post it on Facebook and share with us. And she's so talented and has a wonderful singing voice. So I created an image of her the way that I see her playing the piano, what the piano does for her, how it just kind of calms the storm and just helps her get through her days. And from that image and the increase of difficulty with Brooke's illness and her experiences, it just started to ignite more and more passion into bringing awareness and what can I do, and taking my artwork to another level. It's more than just creating a beautiful image. It's about telling a story that might one day catch somebody's attention, catch the right person's attention, and help people. Brooke ultimately wants her story not only to help people, but to point people to Christ. Without him, her suffering would be amplified. Without him, she couldn't make it. And she wants everybody to know that because he lives inside, because he is her savior, because he is her shepherd, her counselor, her comforter, she can make it day by day. It's not easy, but without him, it would be impossible. So please feel free to share and like this video. Let's spread the word. It's the least we can do.
What's left to say? These prayers aren't working anymore. Every wave shut down in flame. What's left to do with these broken pieces on the floor? I'm losing my voice, calling on you, 'cause I've been shaking, I've been bending backwards till I'm broke, watching all these dreams go up in smoke. Let beauty come out of ashes. Let beauty come out of ashes. And when I breathe upon all my tears, can beauty come out of ashes? Can you use these tears to put out the fires in my soul? 'Cause I need you here. Whoa, 'cause I've been shaking, I've been bending backwards till I'm broke, watching